raise the prices for airfare.
Already, Americans are paying more. The average domestic airfare a year ago was $303. Now it's up $55 to $358. And more than 5,000 flights have already been canceled between Delta, United, and American from May through September. That's about 33 flights a day.
Come on, 2 lines, 2 escalators. Let's go, let's go.
And this morning, new concerns those long TSA lines that buried travelers in record wait times last month could reappear.
Crazy. This is the first time I've ever experienced anything like this.
The Department of Homeland Security, which has been shut down since mid-February, warning they are running low on emergency funds and may not be able to pay TSA workers again starting in May.
And to save money on airfare, Going.com suggests avoid traveling on Sundays. That's typically the most expensive day. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are usually the cheapest. Whit Johnson, ABC News, LaGuardia Airport, New York.
And this is a live look at the cemetery. We're transitioning back to our coverage of Deputy Walker LeMay's funeral service. He is the LeFlore County Sheriff's deputy who was killed on Sunday after a shootout. He was responding to a call, I believe, in Heavener. We have been following this for you all throughout the afternoon. It has been difficult at times, of course, many somber moments, a lot of heaviness out there. For many, honoring him is about recognizing what the uniform represents, the ability to step forward in difficult moments and even sometimes at great personal cost. I think all of the people that we saw show up today, and many of them are probably in the procession. I mean, the gym where the funeral service was held was full. I believe what we really saw is a deep connection between service and community with the people who are gathered, not just mourning a loss, but they're also, you could say they're also acknowledging a responsibility that was carried every single day by their local law enforcement. And certainly many of them feel impacted by this loss. Many spoke about Deputy LeMay, who leaves behind a young daughter. They talked about how he enjoyed the outdoors with her. He also loved to watch Harry Potter with her. And hopefully she fondly has the ability to remember her father and this ultimate sacrifice that he paid. Sheriff Rodney Derryberry, who is the LeFlore County Sheriff's, the LeFlore County Sheriff, I should say. Also, he did the eulogy for Deputy LeMay and had some really beautiful words. If you want to watch some special moments from that, go to 4029tv.com. Coming up, we have 4029 News at 5 o'clock. Stay with us.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching 4029 News at 5. A community is grieving in LeFlore County.
Know this, his life matters. His sacrifice matters. He will never be forgotten.
Neighbors standing a little closer.
Family, my heart goes out to you.
All for a deputy who meant so much.
He didn't just wear the badge, he carried the weight of it.
The community that came together to say goodbye to Deputy Walker LeMay.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Allison Wise. You're taking a live look right now of the gravesite. Muse Cemetery is where Deputy LeMay will be laid to rest. And we also have a drone shot from our 4029 Skyview in hopes of catching the procession as they come to the grounds. And I believe there are dozens and dozens of law enforcement agencies who are taking part in that procession. We saw many of them at the funeral service. Deputy Walker LeMay died Sunday when he was responding to a call that turned into a shootout. Services for LeMay started yesterday with the community and law enforcement visiting him before he was laid to rest here at the wake. And we have live coverage. We're following him, following the funeral services. As I mentioned, all of the highlights from that and some of just the difficult moments, the beautiful words that were said in his honor. You can find that on 4029tv.com. And we wanted to bring this to you because we know how important he was to the community. Many many people have talked to us just about the impact he had and just how this cuts deep. My co-anchor Brandon Evans has been there, and he's going to share some of the sentiments that he heard with some of the mourners today. Brandon.
Yeah, Allison, from the moment I got here, I talked to someone who graduated with him, class of 2014. I got to walk the halls. She took me back and showed me the plaque where his senior photo was, his graduation photo from 2014. And then during the service, I got a chance to talk to a police officer who was trained by Deputy Walker LeMay when he was with the Heavener Police Department. So the stories range from someone they grew up with to someone who literally showed them how to be a police officer, and that's just the beginning of the stories we'll continue to tell. But for now, live in Heavener, Brandon Evans, 4029 News. Back to you.
We have team coverage of the funeral procession. We have 4029's Valerie Zhang. She's actually along the route in our 4029 storm tracker. Valerie, describe to us what you're seeing right now.
Hey, Allison, we just saw dozens of patrol cars from agencies from across the state here. We're about 17 miles from the funeral location there in Heavener. This is near Big Cedar at this intersection. This is Highway 259 and Oklahoma 63. You can see here just the amount of cars here coming from Heavener. Again, we just saw the hearse, the white funeral car that was carrying the casket draped in an American flag. You can see here at this intersection as well. That is a Big Cedar. Firefighters there blocking off traffic, and you can see they're blocking off as well traffic from the other end, waiting with a salute here as cars move across this intersection. Again, of just about a 25-minute, 30-minute drive from the funeral location there up in Heavener. So we're about 17 miles south of Heavener now. Again, seeing all the law enforcement agencies with their red and blue flashing lights, and as well as the amount of cars. It looks like just regular cars, supporters coming down from Heavener. Again, this was a long drive from the funeral location, which was about 17 miles north of where we are now. And again, as they head to the burial site, which is the Muse Cemetery, we're about a 7-8 minute drive from Muse Cemetery. You can see here just the line of cars, and in the distance now we are seeing quite an amount of law enforcement agencies here from across the state. You can see their blue and red flashing lights here on the tail end of these cars, and as we continue to see them, again, we have been seeing cars pass us here at this intersection of US 259 and Oklahoma 63 for about a couple of minutes now. You can see here, this is Worcester Police. We've got Arcoma Police there, Heavener Police. Heavener Police there with a flag as well, and flashing their red and blue lights. Again, this is after we have seen the hearse car, the funeral car, which is holding the casket of the fallen deputy as well. And just miles and miles as this procession has continued all the way down from 17 miles north in Heavener. And we will continue to follow the procession route as they head to the funeral location there in Muse. Sending it back to you for now, live in Oklahoma. Valerie Zhang, 4029 News.
I thank you for that update, Valerie. Of course, the entire community here is showing up. Some people may have never met Deputy LeMay personally, but they certainly understood what his service meant in their safety and their daily lives. We have the setup here that's happening at Muse Cemetery. Some people have already arrived, awaiting that procession with the casket. We know that includes both of his parents, his 5 siblings, 3 of his grandparents, his daughter, who he all leaves behind. And the sheriff spoke about Deputy LeMay and said he was a man of few words.
Walker was a peacemaker, and we will carry that calling forward. He knew when to stay calm and cool. He knew how to interact with people, and he knew when times got hard, he knew what to do.
With that, we'll get to 4029's Brett Rains, who was inside the school gym where the funeral was held. Brett.
Well, the Heavener School Gymnasium was at capacity today, with mourners watching an overflow outside the gymnasium and in the school cafeteria there watching live feeds. Now, during today's funeral service, Deputy Walker LeMay was remembered as a father, son, friend, and community servant who made the ultimate sacrifice for his hometown and hometown county of LeFlore County. Now today, LeFlore County Sheriff Rodney Derryberry eulogized this fallen deputy, and the sheriff spoke directly to LeMay's young daughter, who's in the front row.
His sacrifice matters. He will never be forgotten. And to his little girl, Blakely, and her mother, our hearts break for you in a way words cannot fully express. You may be too young to understand the weight of this moment, but one day you will know just how great your father was. You will know that he was a hero.
And today, Deputy LeMay was certainly honored as a hero. And as now, Sheriff Rodney Derryberry, you just heard from there, said the world now is a little darker today without Deputy LeMay in it. And also at today's funeral was Worcester Police Chief Andy Thompson. He was shot Sunday and sent to a Tulsa hospital. He was later released from the hospital and was back home recovering, but he felt it was very important to be here today to honor his fallen law enforcement brother. Live in Heavener, Brett Rains, 4029 News.
And many officers across different agencies also showed up in their support. 4029's LaKyra Banks talked to some of those officers today. LaKyra, many of them calling Deputy LeMay their brother in blue.
Yeah, that's right, and that's despite not even knowing Deputy LeMay personally. I was there earlier today and saw firsthand the show of solidarity from various agencies. They say the badge creates a bond that goes beyond city, county, even state lines. Sheriff deputies from Washington and Benton counties here in Arkansas were there, Oklahoma City Police, and officers from multiple departments across Oklahoma. Now, one thing that most reiterated is that this is a reminder of the risks that they face every single day and the importance of showing up for one another.
One of our brothers has fallen and taken the ultimate sacrifice. We are coming here to show this department that you're not alone. This is a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and it's an honor to be down here to show the family, not only the family, but also the agency, that you will never endure such things like this on your own.
It's important for the family to know that there is support regardless of department, that the law enforcement is a community that despite where you work, the profession's the same, the calling's the same, and we want to honor that commitment.
And they say that their love and support goes out not only just to the LeFlore County Sheriff's Office, but to Deputy LeMay's family and friends and the entire community as well. Allison.
And we'll continue our coverage of his funeral throughout the afternoon. You can also look at updates online on 4029tv.com.